Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And I just got done doing an open house on a $500,000 home. And honestly speaking, I'm inspired. I met the owner. I asked them what they did, and I was just inspired by everything that were letting me know. Because to own a $500,000 home, you kind of do have to do a lot of fucking work to get there. And I'm not there yet. I could probably own a $250,000 home, but not a $500,000 home. So, yeah, I feel inspired right now, y'all. Today's going to be a shoulder and arm day. And honestly, my mood is a lot better than it was yesterday. Yesterday I was feeling defeated, feeling like I have the world against me, like my mentality wasn't right. Nothing was going for me. And working two damn near 8 to 12 hour shifts 2 days in a row, that really fucking affected my mentality, to be honest with you. And yeah, I'm ready to get a good arm and shoulder pumping today. I'll see y'all when we go on the inside, y'all. Peace.
All right, welcome back, y'all. Now, we're moving into the first workout of this arm and shoulder day superset. And we're going to be doing front delt raises. Right now, we're going to be shooting for a total of 6 reps. No, my bad, y'all. My brain's a little jumbled. We're going to be shooting for a total of 6 sets with 10 reps in each set. So that's going to be a total for this workout of 60 reps on your front delts. Let's keep it going, y'all. Now, with the first one, you want to make sure that whenever you're going about it, the form is proper. Once you get higher into weight, it's a little bit okay if the form starts to decline, but you want to have it controlled up and then controlled down as well. Now today wasn't as packed of a day for me, so it wasn't super busy. But for me, one thing that messed me up is I actually wasn't able to eat properly. I only ate once at around 7 a.m. and right now we're at 6 o'clock. So I've only eaten one time throughout the day. And now, sure, that helps you with fasting and losing weight, because today I'm definitely going to be in a caloric deficit of like 1,000. So it's going to help. And I might even be 150, 149 when I wake up. But that's not healthy and that's not sustainable. So a lot of y'all who are going to the gym in order to lose weight, don't do it in a way where you're starving yourself day in and day out to lose weight. That's not the way you have to do it. You have to do it progressively over time in a way that's sustainable. Because if not, sure, you can lose 20 pounds quick if you starve yourself. Sure. But how long are you going to keep that off? Because once you go back and you start reverting to your old habits, you're going to go right back to where you left off. And honestly, that's counterintuitive. That's like putting in the work to get skinnier in the bad way. And if it's not sustainable, it's not something you should do at all. Like one philosophy I got when I was a kid, if you can't do something many times, don't do it once. Because just like with drugs and shit like that, dude, if you're not okay with doing it every day, don't even do it one fucking time. You know what I mean? That's why whenever people have offered me any kind of illicit drugs that are like drugs, I always fucking say no. Pills, anything like that, I always say no, because I don't want to risk getting addicted to anything like that. If you can't afford to do it every single day, don't do it at all. All right, y'all, moving straight into the second set before we go up in weight. Now with this one, I'm going to do a little bit of a lean back. Oh, shit. All right, so go ahead and go up in weight. Let's continue with the same form. Now, I don't know why. This is how I always feel in the beginning. I always feel like my shoulders are janky, right? And I go up in weight, and it's cool. And it's the lightweight that I'd be struggling with. The heavyweight be all right. But let's go ahead and change out the weight, and I'll be right back with y'all. And yeah, just moving into this next set, we're moving to the third set. But before we get into doing any actual workouts, I just wanted to go ahead and make it known that you have to be willing to work out in a way that's sustainable over a long period of time, because you can make massive gains in a small period of time. But the real issue is, how consistent are you going to be with staying with that kind of gain? Is it something like a steroid that it'll give you fast improvements, but then you're going to have that level of pain that comes with taking steroids? And honestly speaking, if you sacrifice your health in order to progress fast in the gym, that's kind of counterintuitive because you're becoming unhealthy in order to look better. So you look better on the outside, but on the inside you're fucking rotting away, and that's not sustainable. So you don't want to do it in that direction. Like for me right now, I'm working damn near 12 to 15 hour shifts per day, and I'm still finding time to go ahead and work out, add working out into my schedule. And honestly, even if you only have 20 to 30 minutes, I think a big misconception people have is you have to spend hours upon hours in the gym. And honestly speaking, you don't. I'm seeing growth and progress, and I'm still cutting weight. And I'm only been spending like 20 or 30 minutes in the gym because I've been so fucking busy. I've just been making time for it because, truthfully speaking, the shit that has to get done regardless of how much time you have. And you have to find ways to make time because time never comes, time doesn't come out of nowhere. You have to make time for shit you want to do, whether it's spending time with your family, loved ones, friends, or going to the gym. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep this going. This is set 3, y'all. We're going to move into another solid 10. Sure. That feels solid, yeah, 100%. But in order to keep this flowing in the same direction, let's keep it going, yeah. Let's keep the energy tight. Let's keep our mentality as high as we can keep it. And honestly, let's keep growing together, y'all. It's causing it takes a lot of you going through pain, struggle in order to see any kind of growth. So enjoy it when it's there. I'll see y'all on the next set. I'm gonna take a little bit of rest. All right, y'all, let's keep this shit rolling. We're moving into our 4th set, and we only have 2 more sets on front delts. And honestly speaking, increasing the consistency of the workout has been making me improve in my strength. Like right after this, we're gonna go straight curls till failure. And honestly speaking, doing that has made me feel like I'm having an improvement because I feel the vascularity come back to me. I feel the pump. And honestly, I'm not a fan of doing 1,000 curls on the lightweight. I like pushing my max. And maybe it'll take something for me to realize that that's the wrong step. But right now, the way I'm progressing and the way it's feeling, I feel like moving heavy weight is a little bit more favorable, at least for my body frame. So let's keep this going, y'all. Oh. Sit up. All right, let's go ahead and move up to 60s. Keep the show rolling. Shut. All right, y'all. Take a little rest, and I'll be right back. And yeah, honestly speaking, I say this with such sincerity, brother. If you're going through a period in life where you're going to be working tons and tons of time, I really recommend you start recording yourself for 2 reasons. One, because when you make it, you will see your journey. You're going to be like, damn, I remember when I was there. I remember that feeling. I remember sitting there with that kind of emotion. And then the second part of that is when you're really feeling unmotivated. Like yesterday, I was feeling very unmotivated, very beating myself up, right? And then in the middle of looking and editing the clip, I inspired myself. That was some real shit. I was like, what the fuck? You know? Yeah, especially, brother, you gotta pull motivation from wherever the fuck you can. No. Alright, so we're going to do 1 more set on that. And honestly speaking, this could be another quick set. Not necessarily because I don't have time today, but because I have a lot of shit that I have to do at home. The part I feel like nobody talks about, whenever you're actually starting to become the person you've been wanting to become your entire life, before you actually become that motherfucker, you're broke. And you have to work hella hours. You're broke. You don't have time. And you don't have money. And when you do have free time, you have to catch up on all your chores, like washing clothes, folding clothes, cleaning up, cleaning your car, detailing your car. Wow. God damn, there are so much things that have to get done. In the spirit of one day, like, yeah, like today, after I get off from the gym, I'm going to have to go home, edit another video. And then after that, we're going to have to clean out my room, my car, my garage. And it's like, yeah, damn. Nobody talks about that. When you're at the point where you don't have time, but you don't have the money to make somebody come and through and pay for it, or when you're like me, one of the most frugal motherfuckers, call me Graham Steph in this bitch because I hate spitting bread. All right, Sean. Let's go ahead and get into this last set. Whoosh. Whoosh, yeah. The reps got a little ugly there, but hey, we'll take it. As long as you don't get injured, you're cooling. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the Jacob's ladder for my curls. Let's keep this shit rolling, y'all. And honestly, the way I recommend you work out is kind of depending on where you are in your fitness journey. Like if you're first starting off, I actually do recommend doing low weight, high intensity. So that just means like you're doing like a low weight of like 10 or 15 pounds more, like way longer. That way you can build up your muscle endurance. And then once you start building muscle, you're going to have to go ahead and use progressive overload to keep building, to keep pushing in that right direction. Because right now, I feel like the more and more I keep like doing light weights, I'm more so shredding fat off and slimming down. But I'm actually trying to grow. You know what I mean? And I figure that it's kind of counterintuitive because I'm looking at cutting, but I want to grow at the same time. So it's like kind of balancing that out, you know? But in this arm day workout, we're going to go ahead and start off 30s. And we're going to progress all the way to 50, 55-ish, right around there. And we're going to keep pushing it to the max. Every set that we finish out, we're going to go up in weight. And then by the time we're finished, we should be somewhere between 50 to 60 reps on arm day. So let's keep this going, yeah? Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and change out the weight and I'll be right back with y'all. God damn, y'all. Not eating really is getting to me now. All my energy went pew. But it's okay. We're gonna keep it rolling, yo. When you run out of motivation, you lean on your discipline. And discipline is the highest form of self-love, yo. Ooh. No lie, y'all. Right now, I only got about 700 calories for the entire day up until 5. Highly unhealthy. I'm actually thinking about getting Chipotle or something after. But I don't know, y'all. Alright, y'all. We went to the next set. I'll bring you back whenever we get into that. So I'm feeling properly fucked. And honestly speaking, eat properly, y'all. Don't be like me. I am super busy to the point where I cannot eat like at a proper rate throughout the day because I don't have time to cook. I have to go out to eat these past couple of days. And yeah, my go-to is either Chipotle or Chick-fil-A. Those are the two I go to all the time. But yeah. Make sure if you're going to the gym to eat properly. Now, if you're busy like me, you'll fucking understand. Sometimes you just can't get a second to eat. And It might not make sense to the average person who isn't willing to sacrifice what we are willing to sacrifice for our dreams. But there's been days where I go to sleep hungry, not because I don't have anything to eat, but because I just KO at the end of my day, you know? And before, when I was younger and I had nothing but time, I would never go to sleep hungry. But now it happens out of happenstance, just being so busy that don't have a second to eat. And that's not hustle culture, that's not anything like that, and I don't recommend it. It's just something I've lived through, honestly speaking. But let's go ahead and get into this fourth set. We're going to go ahead and finish it off here because we are approaching exhaustion. You can see the bags in my eyes are getting worse too because of that. I sleep late. I wake up early. And yeah, this is what my life will look like for the next couple of years because every day there's something happening. I start classes on June 2nd, and when I'm not in the gym, when I'm not working out, I'm gonna be working. When I'm not working, I'm gonna be editing. When I'm not editing, I have schoolwork. So it's a lot on my list, but honestly speaking, it's either become a doctor or become a successful entrepreneur. It's whichever comes first. I'm gonna be doing both of the things, both going to school to become a doctor and trying to be a successful entrepreneur, and we're going to see what happens. You have to do everything in your power to make it statistically impossible for you to fail. Now, the only way I could fail is if I got injured, but if I continue going this way in a couple of years, there's no way I'm not going to be successful. Whether I build a business off of my YouTube, or I start getting better clients from my real estate, from just my name being known in the industry, or I become a doctor, whichever comes first. It'll take about 10 years, but in 10 years, I'm guaranteed to be a success. Only because I'm willing to put in the level of work that's required in order to become the man I want to become. I take a page from Alex Hormozi's book where he talks about you want to start having coaching sessions with yourself, but not like you're talking to yourself. As if you're talking to the 60-year-old version of you, the man you want to become if you achieve everything you ever would have achieved. And you want to have intervals of time where you spend time talking to them. And I believe that Alex Hormozi actually got that mindset from a book, How to Think and Grow Rich, because there was a section in the book where they talked about having masterminds with people you would want to have a mastermind with, like instead of talking to people you know, because you might be you might not be where you need to be in order to be able to talk to the rich people, the people of affluent and shit like that. But in your head, if you get to know somebody, like you can theoretically talk to Abraham Lincoln, George Washington. All you have to do is read things about their life and how they had their outlook on life. Like for me, I have a mastermind in my head almost every night. I ended up speaking to Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders. I ended up speaking to Alex Hormozi. I ended up speaking to Patrick Bet-David, Leo Skepi. And right now, those people have been influencing my life in the most positive way. Where at a time where I felt like everybody in my life was asking me, dude, the minute you get out of work, you go to the gym. And when you get out of the gym, you're working on sales scripts. What the fuck are you doing? Are you not exhausted? Don't you get tired? Don't you want to go out and have fun? And for me, in my head, I was like, is this not fun? I thought I was having fun in the moment doing those things. But when you get told something so many times, it eventually becomes true. And in that moment, when all those people were asking me, dude, it seems like your life is miserable. It seems like you're not having fun. You're always grinding. When are you going to enjoy life? And honestly, at a certain point, with everybody telling me that, I started to believe that there might be something wrong. Like, I might not actually be enjoying it. I might just be having a perceived notion of enjoying it, but it might just be misery. And I'm not capable of understanding whether it's misery or if it's living life, you know? But then I started watching Patrick Bet-David because this was back when he first started Valuetainment, back in the early days, right? And he started Valuetainment, and I'm like, well, I guess granted nowadays it wouldn't be early days. Early days for me. I found out about him in like 2020, and when I saw him, he was talking about if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to be somebody successful, you got to go through and read first book was Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. How to Think and Grow Rich. And then there were some other books that I read after that. But honestly, something that he told me was if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you want to be able to work intense for an entire year without a single fucking day off. And theoretically, at that time, I did that. I did work a year straight without any fucking days off. I can't say any days. So I'm gonna be open and honest. I did have days off and shit like that, but to have it in a way where even on your off days, people were reaching out to me because I was managing a business. And then after doing that, after being an entrepreneur inside of the business I work at, I was like, I feel that I can be an entrepreneur because I was able to go this entire year and my soul didn't get crushed. You know, most people know they're not meant for entrepreneurship when they work every day for an entire year and they realize they hate it. They're miserable. But for me, I was having fun. I would be excited to get up and go to work just to improve 1%. And I'm saying all this to say essentially, I kind of forgot. But yeah, like just speaking to people who you want to take advice from, making those pictures in your head where you think you know them and you think if you ask them some advice, you kind of know what they would tell you, you know? And I have those masterminds with Alex Ramosi and all those people I just named because sometimes I feel like I want to bounce some advice off of people, but there's nobody around me that can help me improve in my facet. So I end up asking my head Alex Ramosi, in my head Patrick David, Leo Skepi, these people who I'm actually very inspired by, you know? And I have a conversation with them to see what they would tell me. And honestly speaking, from those mastermind sessions in my head, I've improved a lot. And I just need to keep progressing in that way and speak to the 60-year-old version of myself so I can figure out where I need to go. But enough rambling, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this set. I kind of yapped there for too long. Alright, so we're going to call it there. Let's move into the next tricep workout. Alright, y'all. So now moving into the tricep extensions. And this is going to be a tricep extension with a cable attachment. And honestly speaking, y'all, I kind of had a real life epiphany. And I realized that whenever I was doing these supersets with my arms and shoulders and the chest and back, I had about 3 hours in the gym per day. And right now, I only have roughly 30 minutes in the gym per day. And in order to see progress while working out over time, I'm going to have to limit the supersets to being isolated workouts. Earlier this week, it was nice because I had a little bit of free time, but then that shit went away just as quickly as it came. So in order for me to have quality workouts, I'm going to have to start isolating muscle groups again. Alright, so we're going to be doing 5 sets total. Alright, y'all, let's get this straight going. I'm feeling tired, exhausted. Honestly, I'm feeling like, at this point, like, my spirit's starting to break. When I feel like this, I have to switch back to anime, brother. Two more sets and then we're going to call it here. Simply because I don't feel like I have enough energy to keep going. The one meal wasn't enough. I'm going to have to start taking my dieting seriously because the biggest thing for me right now has actually been just making sure I'm eating properly. And I'm not, yo. Honestly, I'm not. And it's getting to the point where I'm getting headaches and shit. So but I got to improve that because at the end of the day, if you're not eating healthy, you're not going to be working out healthy. Fuck, man. I like something that Leo Skepi said, bro. He said he doesn't like when people complain about the journey they're on unless they're taking the steps to actually make what their dreams are happen. Not like if you say, I'm going to be doing all these things, and then you keep complaining about it's too hard and why you're not doing it and blah, 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 blah. He says if you do that, you're like a little bitch. But if you are complaining and actually doing the work, it's okay because at least you're actually getting shit done, Anyways, let's get into this. I can hear my stomach going. Honestly, I'm not feeling it proper, yo. I'm gonna get a second off camera and I'll be back. Alright, so let's get into this last set. And we're gonna go home after this one. I need to eat, man. Let's keep this going. So, should I go home, eat a properly balanced meal, or should I go eat Chipotle? I'll go based off what y'all saying. You'll know who you really are when you get to these points in life. Because I've come to terms with the fact that the life I've lived has been a very difficult one. It has been one void of any kind of privileges of any kind. And honestly speaking, that's made me a hardened man. And it prepared me for the real world, because in the real world, nobody is looking out for you. And if you're not getting your shit done, you're not even looking out for yourself. You know what I mean? So, come to terms with where I've ended up and where I'm heading. And I realize that when I'm the most tired, I figure out who I am. I'm the type of guy that no matter how he feels, if he feels sad, mad, happy, whatever, he's able to get the job done. And honestly speaking, I'm proud of that. But if I were to have a son, I don't know if I would raise him the way I was raised. Because honestly speaking, whenever, Andrew Tate talks about how he grew up as a kid, it actually reminds me a lot of how I ended up growing up. Because when I was young, I had a lot of shit happen to me to the point where, like, my stepfather, he would do things in order to try to make me more of a man. And honestly speaking, in the moment, I didn't see it as wrong or anything like that. But then just looking back on it over time, I see that, holy shit, he did that? And, like, one thing that they would do to make me harden is I would say, oh, man, it's time to get a haircut. I don't know what to do with my hair. And instead of helping me try to figure out a style that fits me, they would end up just, all right, fuck it, let's cut it all off. And I'd go to school with a skimp fade, bye. And I don't know about y'all, but where I grew up, if you go to school with no hair, you're going to get zoned the fuck out. It got to the point where the only saving grace I had was like, yeah, the reason they did that is actually because it's because I'm being sent off to a military school. So, you know, they had to get me in line in case, whenever they send me off. So, things like that. And honestly speaking, that's made me a capable young man. Like, I'm only 23, and I've accomplished a lot more than most 23-year-olds. And that's not a bragging point or anything like that, because there are 23-year-olds that are way farther than I am. But I'm happy and satisfied with the mentality I have. But honestly speaking, I didn't get here through a positive way. The way that I led here was through suffering, through a lot of pain, through a lot of discomfort. There wasn't anything that made me here that was pleasurable. Because in order for a man to grow, he has to go through struggles and tribulations. And honestly speaking, I'm glad I went through those, but I don't know if I would repeat that if I had a son, you know what I mean? Now, granted, I would want to make his life harder on purpose to build character and things like that. But to the level that I was pushed through, I don't think I would do that. But hindsight is 20/20. Maybe when I have a son, I'll think differently. You know what I mean? But that's the end of today's workout, y'all. I'm not going to do a pose down because I'm not carved up. I don't feel it today. It doesn't feel right. So this is going to be the end of the video, y'all. I might have a talking point on the way home, but aside from that, I'm calling it here. If you like the video, go ahead and make sure to like and subscribe. And then if you want to go ahead and see every single video I have coming out, make sure to turn on the notification bell. So that's all I got, y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. Peace.